Welcome back. I'm going to share another personal, life-changing story. Whether you believe it or not, I know it was real. When I was young, I went through tough times. My younger days were spent in and out of foster homes. Me and my siblings moved back with our parents while I was in elementary school. The house was a disaster. My parents struggled with alcohol abuse, and I had no support. I was often overly emotional, as most teenagers are. I wasn't suicidal, but one night the depression really got to me. There was a winding dirt road near my house. This road ran along the rim of a cliff with an 800-foot drop to the riverbed below. Filled with depression, I decided I would drive my truck as fast as I could, hurling myself and the truck off the cliff. This wasn't the intention. I was gonna relax in my truck, take in the views, and clear my head as I always did. This was more of a last-minute decision. I remember hitting the gas, going as fast as I could, watching the speedometer quickly increase. I was getting very close to the turn and could see the cliff in front of me. I remember thinking, there's no stopping now. I'm already going 60 miles per hour and didn't have enough room to stop if I wanted to. Regardless if I hit the brakes or not, I would still end up driving off. This is where something strange happened. A moment that changed my life forever. I remember hurling towards the cliff, thinking this was it. The feeling of regret enveloped me. Then I woke up, as if from a deep sleep. I thought, how could I have survived? I looked out the front window. No broken glass, and all I could see were stars in the sky. As I went to open the door, that's when I realized I was at the top of the cliff, not the bottom. I got out and saw my front tires only feet away from the edge. It was impossible. How could this have happened? The last thing I remembered was the feeling of weightlessness as my tires left the cliff's edge. After the adrenaline wore off, I didn't feel anything except for relief. Nothing was bothering me. I stood at the edge of the cliff, gazing down to the river below. As I stood there, I remembered a conversation I had in my dream, clear as day. As the seconds passed, the detail from the dream faded, and I was left with only the feeling of relief and gratification. I couldn't say what the conversation was about or who it was with, but I remembered it being meaningful and full of substance. I went home that night and slept better than I ever have. The next morning, the realization really hit me. I started to think I was crazy and made it up in my head. I drove back to that cliff's edge, to the exact spot as the night before. What I was reaffirming was both chilling and, well, also strangely comforting at the same time. The tire tracks, they didn't stop a couple of feet from the edge. They kept going all the way to the edge of the cliff. The dirt on the edge was crumbled, as if from the weight of a vehicle. I did drive off the cliff that night. Something unexplainable happened. Someone or something saved my life. Everything changed dramatically for me after that, like flipping a switch. My life changed. Strange phenomena became a regular occurrence after that night. Things I've kept to myself all my life until now. If you want to hear more of my life story, I will see you on the next video, and remember, keep an open mind.